Hey everyone, this is Snark with Snark's Domain, and we're going to test out some Upsiren pads today. Should be pretty fun. I've been playing around with my audio filters a little bit, and also the color filters I had for the camera. They were a bit off before, back from when I was trying to show comparisons of like the pink colors of different pink putties. But I probably should have reset it. I'll show you what I mean. Here's the good batch of CXH 1300. And we're going to zoom in here for this. And here's the sus batch. And I couldn't get like the colors to look different on camera, like to match what I could see in my eye. But this is pretty close to what I see when looking at them. So yeah, you can see the one on the right is just a quite a bit more like a dullish orangey sort of salmon color, as opposed to that nice light pink color of the original batch. And then the reds are still off. This, yeah, I'm gonna have to play with it a bit more. This is obviously brighter red, and to me this looks more like orange, although on the camera it looks red, so still some adjusting to do, but at least the top down, this is pretty close to what it looks like for me. So yeah, just figured I'd show you guys what I was doing with that. Now back to opening this card up here. What can I say? My channel is a work in progress. I'll eventually get the audio and the lighting and everything nailed down someday. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend. Ours has been pretty good. We're finally getting a bit of rain, which is much needed because it's forest firefighter, I mean that too. It's forest fire season. So yeah, we had a pretty dry summer and fall last year. Even this winter, we didn't have as much snow as we'd typically expect. So not good. Oh wow, that is brutal. Do you guys see that? Man, that sucks. I'm gonna have to retest this putty again. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm surprised because it still did really good. I think we're still gonna look at the numbers. If anything, it would just mean that they would improve a little bit. They're not gonna get worse. You guys see the cable there? Yeah, it was crap. It was legit sandwiched in the putty, and you can see like the little cutout here. It must have just been laying across right here. And I mean, surprisingly, the card performed pretty good. The core contact is kind of typical. It's not like really bad. But that kind of sucks. I'm still going to go forward with the plan and test these Upsiren pads, and then hoping tomorrow I'll retest the Fehonda again, and we will look at the data, and I'm probably going to update the chart. Yeah, that's the plan, because this is still a good result, and I do want it to be represented on the chart. It's been waiting a little bit, so that's more just embarrassing for me. Nothing like a retest, I guess, eh? So I'm getting excited because I get to build a computer for a good friend of mine, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good computer. I'm gonna have to figure out a way of holding the cable away so it doesn't do that again. I mean, the interesting fact here is that it worked with a putty with the cable across, and the results were good. And I'm pretty sure if you guys had a pad with a cable running across it, you'd run into thermal issues because it wouldn't get compression and the core wouldn't make good contact. I guess in a way you could say, oh, you know, pads are good in that respect because you would know something was wrong, whereas this one I didn't. And obviously I cut those the cable too long for it to be sticking out as much as it is. It still had really good results though, so I'm really not that worried about it. But I will retest tomorrow, of course. If anything, that just means it'll be better by a couple decimal points, thereabouts. All right, we're just going to trim this little bit here. And reshape this with the gloves on. Oh, I forgot to bring down some makeup pads from my wife's stash, which I stole from last time. Which means I still need to buy some. Yeah, I'm like, sometimes I procrastinate on like little stuff that doesn't seem super important to remember. That's okay, we'll just use paper towel for now. It also works pretty good. Did you guys have any big plans for the weekend? I might be going to a LAN party in June, which is kind of exciting. So I don't, LAN parties don't always line up with my days off for work, so it makes it hard to go and do that stuff. I don't get weekends off in the traditional sense. I get blocks of 6 days off at a time, and then I'm on call for 18 days. So, yeah, just, you can't always go to everything you want to go to. And work pretty much, well, trumps everything, unfortunately. I mean, it's good. I'm not really complaining necessarily. It works good. If any of my coworkers are watching, which I doubt they are. But, just makes it hard to plan at-home stuff. Unless it's your days off. So yeah, if you guys are just joining the stream now, there was a fan wire, laying across the VRAM and preventing good, or like perfect putty job. Basically, right along these back two here, this wire was laying down in the putty. And yet the result was looking pretty good. So we are going to post it to the chart today for sure. And then we'll update that if the result changes when I go to retest it tomorrow. And we're going to follow the plan for throwing on these Upsiren pads. Upsiren makes a bunch of different rated pads. I don't know if they make them or just resell them, but well, I know of one that they resell for sure. But the other ones, I think it's all the same. I think even the bigger brands of pads probably just go to like a larger manufacturer and say, hey, you know, we want these pads slightly customized this way, and then they just order a bunch. That's what I assume happens. Because I don't think setting up a factory happens overnight. So I'll clean the cable a little bit. It's pretty embarrassing that I didn't notice the cable was laying across with the putty. And I'm hoping I don't damage the cable by fiddling with it here. It's just not as flexible, unfortunately, as the factory cable, which kind of sucks. It's probably a good thing I'll be switching to a new test card sooner than later. Alright, let's get the... wipe that off. We'll get the pad, or the core pasted up here. Might as well zoom in for it. Every once in a while, an application doesn't go super smooth for paste, and I find the more I play with it, the more paste I waste trying to get it to be perfect. It probably would have been fine on the first pass, but I'm going to call that one good. I know there's like just a sliver there that doesn't have coverage, but that's going to get covered when the paste gets spread out. So these come in like a pack like this. There's like little silver stuff in there, or like a plastic foil type bag. I wouldn't call it hermetically sealed though, because there is just a little, you guys see that little hole through the package, which I assume is to let air out when they put it in there, and also probably for when it if it gets like traveled via air in like a cargo hold that's not pressurized. I'm wondering if that's just to let any air out. Still a decent little bag though. I prefer that probably. I don't know, I guess cardboard's good too. I suppose cardboard has the benefit of being stiff and supplying support to it. But yeah. Just gonna grab calipers here. We should be going for 14 millimeters. Yeah. Oh, I guess I still need that. Oops, kind of sticking there. So I'm just kind of scoring the blue plastic a little bit. You guys can see that line really faintly, and that's going to be my cut guide. Now that should be enough to do at least the 2 strips of 3. like that. So this this pad is crumbly, but it's relatively, I guess I don't know if I'd call it soft now that I've crumbled it. I also have to check how old this one is, but it seems to be working so far when it was on the card earlier. We're going to cut another strip. So the fun part about going to a LAN party is I might replace some pads for people on their video cards, you know, mid-LAN. It'd kind of be fun to do. So we're going for 27. I'll go maybe just a little bit more. Alright, so I'm going to peel the first edge and lay these down. And I'm just going to press gently on them just to make sure they stick to the PCB a little bit. Nothing crazy, doesn't need a whole lot of force. Of course, we wouldn't want to forget the plastic film. We did that once with the TP3 pads. Had to do a retest on those, which was pretty funny. There we go, that should make it stick pretty good. And then we're just going to clean off a little spatula here. And reshape that TGPP10 that we all know and love. I'm not actually sure if the chat is working. I'm not seeing any messages here. Not that I need you guys to write anything, but if you feel like writing a comment, then by all means. Maybe I should open up on YouTube. I think I've seen it glitch out before once, where messages weren't showing up in OBS. Oh, chat's working. Just no one wanted to say anything. That's okay. Hey Fate, how's it going? Good to see you guys. Alright, we reshaped TGPP10. We've got the pads on. Paste is there. I'm just going to flip it around and then we'll do second peel. So Fate's asking, are the 21 watt pads hard to compress? When I was cut that little piece there, it did feel firmer than what I was expecting and remember. Because previously I've had the 21 watt pads on this card when we were doing the core testing applications, and they went through, you know, numerous cycles of being tested with different pastes and phase changes on the core, like a dozen tests, and the pads were always the same, and they actually did pretty good as far as VRAM temperatures were concerned. It wasn't going to beat the top performing putty, I don't think, but it was at like a decent level on the chart, considering it was a pad. that's saying something as far as I'm concerned. I'd still go with a putty myself, but hey, we got to test them, so here we are. Taylor says, 2 guys walk into a bar, and the third one ducks. Mwah, ha, 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 ha. Very good, Mr. Taylor. Let's do the tilt test. Yeah, the pads, they have enough tack to them that if you press them down lightly, they work pretty good. Now, I'm gonna carefully tuck. Oh wow, that cable is quite stiff. Yeah. Okay, I think that's gonna work. I think I got it. Yeah. It's not squished between the pads, so should be making good contact here. Yeah, Fate, I'd agree with you there. As far as the better performance, just as a general rule, there are exceptions to the rule. I was surprised how effective the Arctic TP3 pads were. They're on the chart. They did good, and they didn't create core contact or compression issues like the Valor Odins and a lot of the other pads did. So, like, if I were to choose a pad right now, well, then again, I've also tested these Upsiren ones, not officially, but I've had them on the card while it was testing pastes, and they did good too. So I think we'll see if they're still good, or if maybe maybe those other ones took a while to, I don't know, like burn in and get fully compressed, but they didn't seem to be causing issues. But yeah, the Arctic TP3s seemed pretty good. I'm kind of expecting the AirHot ones to be, or AirHut, to be decent as well. Just from some of the stuff I was reading online about them. I'm quite confident the 3D graphite pads are going to perform good. But again, those are single use because they've got phase change material both sides. So they're just going to get glued to your VRAM and glued to the cooler. You pull them apart and it'll just, some of them fall apart, other ones disconnect nicely. Okay, let's get this thing screwed together here. I mean, part of me still likes those 3D graphite pads. I think it's a cool idea, and they're certainly some of the most compressible pads. Maybe the most compressible pads in existence. Like, you can easily take 3 of them stacked on top of each other and compress them to the thickness of one without really exerting yourself, to be honest. The only drawback is the pulling apart. Also, they do have not graphene but thermal graphite film, and that does conduct electricity, so they could cause issues if the pads aren't seated exactly where they're supposed to, or over time if flexing happens. Like if it was on a back plate, I don't think that would be a good location to have them. And there's also been one person on the Discord that ran into issues with it. I think it was on a laptop, possibly, and they ran into it shorting something out, and it got damaged. So if I was going to use those pads, I would consider them to be conductive like shims, basically, and probably protect the card as needed. Like, I'll certainly be putting on some conformal and curing it before I test those out on this card. Then again, I've got a buddy's card that has them on for the last, well, whenever that video posted, which I'm thinking was close to, what, 1.5 to 2 years ago, I tested out the 3D graphite pads. So those are still on my friend's card that I used for that video specifically. I guess it wasn't testing, it was I was just applying them to the card. I did test them on this card as well for the official test results. Yeah. Alright, cards back together. I'll clean the PCI Express connector in a bit here, but let's take a look at what those what the Fehonda LTP81 did. And we'll get it on the charts here. We're going to have to retest because those fan wires are in the way, but we have a relatively usable data. I mean, it's pretty good. And the retest should only make them look slightly better than what they are going to look like today. So it's definitely, I'm pretty sure it's a top contending putty. I haven't processed the results. I've set the Excel sheets up so it'll be really fast this time, so you guys don't need to like watch me do a whole bunch of like copy and pasting of the calculator sheet. So it's gonna be quick. Let me just get set up here. Oh, I just gotta minimize this for 1 split second, sorry. Alright, display capture. YouTube. Right on. Okay, so this is not the chart. We're just going to go... like I said, I got these like set up to do right to the last little bit here. So if I go Control A, yeah, it's weird. So I think I can't click up here. I have to click down here for some reason. And then it still doesn't feel like it's selecting the entire sheet. Okay, that's got the whole sheet. I suppose I could click over here too. Control F, replace. Yeah, ever since I added this fan speed checker, it's been a little bit wonky with trying to do this step here with the replace all. But it looks like it's gonna work. No, it doesn't seem to be. Well, I guess I only did 3 hours of testing, so that makes sense. Nice. Pretty solid delta temps there. So we are going to get this set up here. And it's May 19th already. Okay, etc hash. Oh, the watts look good. Okay, yeah, no, I was, for a split second I was looking at the core temp, looking at the 48, thinking memory temperature, and this being a 50, and I was like, there's no way the 65. It was just a brain fart. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, we'll go Control A. Yeah, that selected the whole sheet. Nice. The mark looks good. It's pretty stable. Yeah, that's pretty stable. I am going to grab this one because it is hour 2. Like I said, when we retest this, well, we should have similar results, I suppose, and or just slightly better. So we'll just see how consistent my my test apparatus is, or my test bench. I'm going to try this method here. I think that's going to work. Yeah, I think we're just going to click up in the left-hand corner from now on. That way I don't need to worry if it's going to select everything or not. This one I had running for quite a while. We definitely would not use hour 3 or hour 5, but I'm just going to use hour 2 as normal. This one ran for probably 30 some odd hours on like kapow, which was quite a long test. And you know, like, look at these results. So 59.9, 59.60, 59.4. Like if you took all of these, yeah, 59.84, it's pretty relatively flat results, and that's going to improve once I'm testing with an AMD card. Not for raw performance comparison, but for better accuracy. So we'll use hour number 2. Yeah. All right, now let's get these ready. So I'm just going to steal this stuff here and put it down here. 81. etc hash. So we've been, me and my wife have been rewatching House of Dragon, which is like the Game of Thrones prequel, I guess, or one of the few that were supposed to get developed. So, lately in the evening, when it would be an ideal time for me to go on stream, I haven't been. I've been watching TV with the wife. So sorry, guys. Sometimes you gotta do those things, you know, because it's good. Yeah, this chart's getting hard to read, but 50.6. Honestly, I'm pretty sure this is going to improve. But yeah, I should have watched closer for that cable. So if you guys are just watching this part and wondering what I'm talking about, wire running across to VRAM. I have to do a retest at some point because which will be, well, I'm hoping tomorrow actually, because there was, if you look at the start of the stream, there was 2 wires running across the VRAM. You'll be able to see it right when I break the card apart. So yes, a retest is definitely coming. Now let's keep it black. .6. Hey TL Spitz, welcome to the stream, buddy. We're just going off of the results we have for now of Fehonda LTP81. I'm thinking there's a good chance it's going to get better when I retest it tomorrow. I messed up and there was 2 wires running across the top 2 VRAM, running right through the putty. And it still got good results. So if anything, I expect this to be like right up here, maybe even up here. It could do a full degree, maybe. Either way, this is a welcome addition to the very top of the chart, right? Like this area right here is quite good. Even some of these are decent. 48.3. Yeah, exactly. Look at this. It's like trading blows with the putties. So, and that's with the wire. So I'm expecting even better results tomorrow. But I'm going to update this for now. That way anyone who's about to buy putty has other options. I think Fehonda will start selling this in larger quantities or larger volumes, I should say. Like the 50-gram container, which I've got 6 of those on the way. Which I basically just reached out to them directly via email, which anyone can do. Teal spits between the TP3 and the critical pads. Which one do I prefer? Let's go. Did I do critical? Okay, so actually doesn't appear I've tested critical on this test bench yet, but let's take a quick peek at my obsolete chart for a split second. I'm just going to bring it up here. Okay, so we've got GP risers pads, which I've tested. They're theoretically, well, they're marketed, I'll say, as 20 watts per meter Kelvin, and the critical pads are also marketed at 20 watts per meter Kelvin. When I tested these before, and I wasn't tracking ambient temp, so this is not a great chart to go off. It's just a super rough chart, but the critical pads were not as high performing as the GP risers pads. So I think they're gonna be in a similar relative spot, right? It could change a little bit, but GP risers, 86 degrees Celsius memory temperature, critical 90. Could it be off by 2 or 3 degrees? Totally. I just don't think they're gonna, I don't think critical pads are gonna like be, I can't see them being any better than GP risers pads. So keeping that in mind, GP risers pads are currently, let's see, they're up here, but we did have core and hotspot issues. Nothing, just slightly, like 5 degrees, or sorry, core T delta. That's only 1 degree. Here it's 2 degrees here. Man, that's a tough call. It's not too bad. You know, between those two, you know, critical is going to be somewhere down here a little bit. I'm not sure which one. I'd almost lean towards the TP3s because they just felt softer. And that was with stacking 2 pads instead of like having one size for the TP3s. Not perfectly ideal for testing, but they still did quite well, and I didn't notice anything as far as temperatures this way. So I'd probably go TP3s. That's just my gut. But we're going to update the charts here, and then I'm going to post them online. Yeah. Okay, guys. I think I should write something here. Running across VRAM. I think that's pretty much it for this stream, unless you guys have any questions or comments. The exciting thing for me right now is that I get to build one of my buddies a computer. So got all the parts ordered up, and I bought some of them in person today, and yeah, it's going to be good. But yeah, that's it for today. I'll probably be on sometime tomorrow. Not sure what time. Probably like midday, I'm thinking. So I'm off for the next, what, 6 days in a row now, so lots of fun stuff to do. TL spits. Okay, it's good to know. Consider GPUs riser pads as well, but everyone seems to be liking TP3 pads. I would just go with... Actually, I would just go with TP3 because they're going to be way cheaper. Like, I think when I bought TP3s, they came in a 3-pack of what, 0.5, 1, and 1.5 millimeters. I think it was maybe like 100 by 100 or 80 by 80 millimeters. So you get a lot of pad all in one pack, 2-day shipping from Amazon. They're soft enough. They don't create core contact issues. Like, I'm a putty guy, of course, but if you want to go pads, I think TP3s, at least if I had to buy something today, that's what I would probably go with. And just because they're pretty reasonable price. There's also some stuff on AliExpress that's good too. But if you need pads fast, that Amazon 2-day shipping is kind of hard to beat. Sometimes it's 1-day shipping. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Thanks for checking out the stream. And I will catch you guys on the next one. Snarks Domain out.